It's new pedal day. Right, I reviewed Garmin's Vector 2 pedals on road.cc back in 2015 and they did very well indeed. At 1200 quid they were a good deal cheaper than the first incarnation that was 1349. But now the Vector 3s have landed and they're just 849 for a double-sided setup, so they've dropped 40% in 4 years. And look, here they are. If you've got any questions about these pedals, just get them in the comments below and we'll get them answered for you. Now, I've been running the Vector 2 pedals for a couple of years since that review, and I've swapped the original Garmin bodies out for Shimano Ultegra ones, and I've swapped them between bikes any number of times, and that's one of the benefits of pedal-based power measurement. But the Vector 2's weak point was the pod that plugged into the pedal and dealt with transmitting the data. Now, fitting them was a faff, and I've had to buy 2 or 3 replacements over time. They just don't really seem to last that long. So, sing hosannas, because the Vector 3 is an entirely new design, and it does away with the pod completely. All the electronics are contained within the new pedal body, so this is it. The whole thing. In the box you get pedals, you get some spacers, some cleats and a bag of screws. That's about it. Now, I'd say these Vectors look like the most normal pedals of any power pedals. The only real giveaway is the end of the spindle. There's a black cover which hides the LED status light which used to be on the pod. Now, sticking it there means no fitting it with an Allen key, so it's a standard 15mm spanner job like before. You don't need a torque wrench though, it's just a case of doing them up nice and tight like a normal pedal. Now, everything has changed in terms of the pedal design. It's an entirely new body which is designed again around a look keyed cleat. The spindle is new too. Garmin have upgraded the bearings to needle rollers and from bronze bushings. They do feel very nicely put together, and in terms of looks they're a big step up from version 2. And the increase in build quality means the rider weight limit goes up to 105 kilos, even though they're a little bit lighter, so that's good. Now, the previous Vectors ran on a 2032 button cell in the pod, and that gave them a claimed runtime of 150 hours, although I never got near that because I was using IKEA batteries that are 8 for a quid. But anyway, there's no room for the big battery in these new pedals, so instead they use 2 tiny little LR44 button cells, 2 in each side. They don't give quite as long a runtime, claimed 120 hours, but they're easy to swap. You just take a 4mm Allen key to the end, just there. Now, there's a delicate little silicone O-ring in there you need to be careful not to damage, and the thread's quite fiddly, so you have to be careful not to cross it when you're screwing back in. But there's a couple of spare O-rings in the box if you mash one up. These pedals transmit again on ANT+, so of course you'll be able to pair them with your Garmin Head unit and get all your data, and the pedals give you power and cadence readings of course, but they'll also give you left-right balance. They'll tell you whether you're putting down the power centrally on the pedal. They'll show you where you're putting the power down in the pedal stroke, tell you how much time you spent seated and standing. All of that information is available on Garmin's Connect web portal, although not all of it makes it over to third-party platforms such as Strava. New for the Vector 3 though is Bluetooth smart connectivity. You don't get all the metrics that I've just mentioned because they're not available in Bluetooth, but it could be really useful if you're training indoors. So if you're using Zwift on the iPad or Trainer Road, it means you can feed the power directly into the app, and it also means you can update the firmware on the pedals through your smartphone rather than having to use Garmin's rather clunky web interface and an ANT USB stick, so that's good too. Power-wise, we found the previous 2 versions of the Vector to be on the money, and we're not expecting any surprises with the new one, but we will benchmark it against some other indoor and outdoor power devices, see how it compares, and of course, we'll see how it performs as a pedal too. So, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions about these pedals, then ask them below and we'll do our best to answer them, and hit subscribe for more like this on the road.cc channel. Cheers.